Absolute crazy week, guys. Where do I start? Start off with the good. Let's start with the good. If we look on certificates on FTMO, got paid out pretty quickly. Monday, I was paid out there, so very good getting that coming in. Fivers as well, we got paid out instantly by Tuesday, and then get the account to trade. I've tried to merge my two FTMOs, so I've not been able to trade the funded this week on it until I get that through. Don't know why it's taking so long, but sometimes it just does. As for trades this week, took two trades, one GU, one EU, both buys. On the funded, on the fivers, which I've been able to trade, I've closed out. Up 2.5% on the equity right now, so that's pretty good. I mean, it's going to be a nice payout. Got to wait a bit longer though, so we'll see what we do with that. As for FTMO Challenge, 200k, we're at break even last week. We're now locked in with a 4% win on GU, and EU still running. If it wins, I'll be up about 7.1, 7.2. If it loses, I'll be up 2.5%. So we're in profit, regardless of how that EU plays out. I'm very happy with that. We passed CTI phase 1. We only had that for about a month. What have they done? Ban me. Ban me for copy trading. No explanation. And this is why I say FTMO Fivers. I've created a good relationship with them over the years. I recommend them. As soon as you start going outside of that kind of ecosystem of guaranteed good prop firms, you're always going to have issues. And I've had issues with other prop firms before. This is another one. They reviewed my account and decided they don't want to be part of it, which is fair enough. How I see it is, it's a game where you put money in. If I'm going to catch 2.5% and I can get a $2,000 payout, and these cost $400, then overall I'm still up because I've already gained my refund back from the fivers. I've gained over $1,000, so everything from that point is profit in my eyes. But it's not going to happen with CTI. It's fair enough. I'm going to obviously appeal it, but we'll let you know next week how that's going. But I don't really want to focus on the negatives because there isn't that many negatives. It's all positives. I will be looking at other prop firms to go with, but I'm going to be very, very careful now how I approach new prop firms and when I'm putting my money in. I don't want to be losing loads of money on all the different prop firms I'm taking for it to just be breached when I share everything on YouTube. I know how I trade. I've got my own strategy. It just doesn't make sense. Either way, let's head on for the week. What we were looking at. So DXY, we've discussed on the monthly time frame. We've seen a double rejection to this monthly fill. Weekly candle closed below. So this area here, this bullish candle wick, was a potential inducement to break up and take out these now equal highs that we've kind of formed in the weekly here. But you can see the structure's now changing bearish. We were bullish for a while. And we're breaking below key level 107. So my idea for the week is to see price pull back, not really significantly. I feel like we've got enough there. The imbalance fill is a good area. And then to see us drop. Where can we drop to? Well, the weekly time frame allows us to pull back into this area here. So we're looking at this weekly fair value gap we previously used to go up, with this area being a key liquidity point. So I'm looking at that. So definitely not looking for any buys. I want to see clear pullback and weakness within the first 3 days of the week to get that continuation. EU's trickier because we're still within the monthly range, but I'm trying to correlate it to DXY, the fact that that has broken out, to give myself a bit more opportunity. Same thing really, I'm looking for imbalance fill. We're going to go on the higher time frames. So despite there not being really any clear confirmation that we're above 105, after a pullback, I'm willing to give that a shot based on the daily time frame. If this was a high and this created a higher low, and we saw higher lows in here, I'm expecting this to be cleared before we potentially get pullbacks through that, see this low cleared in the end if we are going to go bearish. Therefore, like, I'm looking for buyers and I'm looking for price to fail. And then it's like, where can we fail then? Well, on the daily, you've got this daily fair value gap that we've just left. It's within the imbalance fill. But really, because this was formed on Friday, I'm looking on the 4 hour, really trying to identify, okay, we've seen this wick. This wick, if we're going to go up and we're going to hold, should clear this high. I'm looking at areas within that. I did take a trade idea based on the fact, if we break that, it could be an inducement with us trying to hold the downside. So I've looked at a trade and it was quite a big one, around 5i. It never got triggered. I'm looking at something like that based on this being a potential inducement if we have massive issues around 105. If we don't know, I really like this 1 hour order block. And you can see here, it's unmitigated. You've got fair value based off that area. And that's where the main push come in the end to push us up. So I was just looking at a pretty small 2 hour move from this high, covering the whole area here, looking for plays to previous monthly high, which I think is over here. No, it's over here. Yeah, so highs over here. Previous monthly high is January the 27th. So it's just about a 2 hour trade. And you can see that never got tagged, but I'll keep that in there just to see. That was EU positions there. As for getting daily confirmations, if we get them and we see pullbacks and daily confirms, I'll look for buys as well as an extra. Now, what I liked about GU is, okay, where's the previous monthly high? So what we've done here is we've cleared previous monthly high last week. Now, that was the potential area to break, to carry on down. The fact that we've seen price clear 125 and closed above that wick suggests to me we may not need to come back into this area. I'm really looking for what the start of the week does, because ideally, you know, I'd be wanting to see pullbacks into 125 for a retest, but also understanding that because we're now breaking out potential bearish structure and we're now bullish, I'm looking for upside that may just come in quite quick. So we'll see how the week starts, and I'll talk to you about how I looked for the GU buy. So we'll see what we've done Monday. Now we got somewhat of a nice pullback here. So Monday, I mean, it did nothing. US bank holiday, I think it was. We saw 107 break. Now, I'm looking at price coming higher first. So I'm not actually in any trades yet, I don't believe. Monday, Tuesday. So nearly got tagged into EU. We're going to go on the 1 hour to see how that played out on Wednesday. As for GU, we saw Monday come up, take out previous weekly high, Tuesday close week. So what I'm gathering from this so far is you may be looking at, okay, bullish is running out of momentum. We're not really pushing up. What I'm looking at here is, okay, what are we doing? We're holding above previous monthly high. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, price seems to be stalling. I would always look left and go, what are we struggling at? Well, there's nothing on the weekly up until around here, this fair value gap low. So I'm not really interested in that. Really, all I'm seeing in here is this daily area. So I'm already starting to look at this area as being an area of potential magnet where price can go up. What I see here is if we're going to go up, we may need to come and take out the previous daily low, because that may have not been enough to come up. If that's not going to clear the high, then we may need to come down. So I'm looking at this being a potential inducement and then seeing price continue up. If we've gone to the lower time frames, if we're looking at where the entry would be placed, what I'm looking at within, show the 1 hour, the 1 hour is really good. I'm looking at an entry really based on us coming into this. The leg is fibbed up from here. So we're already looking at trades within the discount, the price to come and test this area up here. Stop loss, I would like to cover, I think it was about 35 I had in the end. Covering the leg low, expected it to hold, so nearly a 3R. Now the idea of this is, and why I want to mark up this particular level, is what we see coming into the morning, if people are looking for that upside, is what we're seeing here within this 1 hour high, this low here, this might have a different color. Let's do that. So this low made a high. Now what we've seen here is price respect that high, price come up again. So we've cleared this area here, a lot of liquidity. We've pushed up, formed a new low, formed a new high, faked out. We faked out here at the high. I'm now looking at this area being swept. So I could have had a lower entry, to be fair, but I like the previous daily low as an entry. Really looking for that to get cleared. If we clear that and then go up, it's a perfect move. If you're looking at that as a range, a low, high, internal liquidity all here as well. I'm really just looking, not for the perfect move, but just for a nice, clean push up for nearly 3R. So let's skip the next day. We actually see the imbalance fill done. So I'm liking this now to go down. Although we're holding above 107, you've got to remember the week actually closed below this. So really, I'm just interested in price continuing down, clearing the previous weekly low. If we look at EU on Wednesday, we did get tagged in. So we're tagged in here quite early in the day. And it did play around on Wednesday. Look, the volume wasn't that good. What I'm looking at is strength and upside, pullback very slow, which is good. That's what you want to see. Momentum to the side that you're trading, the pullback more slow before we get that rip back up. If we look at GU, what do? We cleared the price level that I liked. We then struggled to go up, and we took out that wick. Once we took out that wick, I think it was game over really. If we skipped yesterday, we ended up clearing up really nice, taking out the highs. Perfect trade. Just love to see it. And if we look at EU, we did go into drawdown here. We come deeper. We then never got tagged in on this one, so I'll take this off. Saw a nice move up as well. The problem you had is prices at this moment in time stalling around the 105 level. Now, ideally, what I want to see for the week, price form a bottom wick, start flipping bullish, breaking previous weekly high. We've not yet seen that. It's not looking the best on a daily, but we do have PMI news later for USD. But this trade is really what I'm looking to hold. End of the day, we're still 100 pips off stop loss. It can play about for a few days. I do want to see the weekly break this, because ultimately what you're looking at now is, okay, you've had 3 candles. This will be the 4th failing to break 105. If we're not coming up, then we're going to have to see this current previous weekly low cleared before we test the highs again. And really, I don't want to be seeing price come back into 50% worth of drawdown. So we see if we can hold this. But really, really nice trade. And if we go into live data for the month, this is how I've played it. I've had nothing but wins this month. I've had a break even that would have been a loss, close it out, and then had 3 winners. The EU could still lose, but I have closed it out on the most important one, the funded. So I'm looking at 4 wins for the month after my worst month. Ultimately now having my best month, which is 10R plus, which is great to see. Goes to show, stick to the way you trade and you will reap the benefits. Even if you have a bad month, does not mean anything. And really now I'm looking to push on, ending Q1 with hitting all my goals. You know, really looking to be passing that 200k FTMO, getting that 600k's worth of funding or 500k's worth of funding, and really just maximising, catching a few percent a month. If I can have months that are 10R once I've got all this funding, I don't need to worry about extra funded accounts, and that's what I can't get to me. I can't let it get to me, because you think about it, if I'm trading 500k's worth of funded capital, the challenges, they're long, they take a long time, and you've got to abide by rules and so much going on that can lead to you taking a trade that could just breach your account without really knowing. So definitely know the rules of the prop firm you're trading. Sometimes you are just going to get unlucky and things are going to happen, but that is the way trading goes. So very good week overall, very, very positive going into next month. Really looking at having a great quarter. If we can have a good month next month, I'm going to be looking at passing all my FTMO. We'll have the fivers. I'll have a look to see what other prop firms I want to go with. But we'll take that by ear. I'm really just pushing forward now to try and get these proper big payouts, like talking over 5k. You know, I've been catching the $300-$400. Now they're like $1,000, $2,000, and then now I want to be seeing 5k, 7k, 8k, and that's the whole point of why you started trading in the first place, was to try and get these big payouts, add them to your live account, grow your live account up, and before you know it, I mean, I'm probably not going to be living in the UK. So let's see where it goes. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you in the next one. Peace.